Through his piece performances, Irving Goffman introduces the idea of our social life as a theater. In Goffman's metaphor, an individual is the performer. While playing their role, the individual can either be cynical or sincere in their performance to the audience. With this, the individual can choose to delude their audience or truly believe the self they are displaying. Through the actions, the actor begins to develop their role, which serves as the true person that the individual wishes to show the world. Goffman's next idea is the topic of the front. This theory may seem extreme, however this video will utilize an example from my hometown to demonstrate that Goffman's metaphor for the way we interact and express our true selves to each other is not that different than a theater performance and is quite accurate in the world today. The front is the expressive equipment that an individual uses and can be broken up into the setting, the personal front, appearance, manner, and social front. The setting is the scenic part of the expressive equipment, as it sets the stage for the audience. The personal front is a description of how to describe the individual. This includes race or age or even clothing. Appearance and manner help the audience to realize the status of the individual, along with how they will react in the situation. Finally, Goffman introduces the idea of a social front, which becomes the collective representation, and illustrates how the individual can conform to a stereotype or a known social value. The theory will be broken down more and in much detail throughout the film.
Blast police and parents in Barrington for a so-called culture of underage drinking.
Police in Barrington are expected to release more information on yet another teen tragedy in town.
A 17-year-old junior known to always have a smile on his face. His name's John Converse. Dozens stand around a memorial here on New Meadow Road in Barrington. 17-year-old John Converse died Monday night. He was not wearing a seatbelt and was ejected from the passenger side window of this red car. Police say the driver, a 16-year-old, was speeding and driving drunk. He and two backseat passengers survived the crash.
Converse is the father of John Converse, who, with the passing of his son, decided to educate teens on the dangers of drunk driving. With this role, Dan Converse is the actor in the performance. The next video represents the message he tells students at Barrington High School.
John died November 5th, 2007. To lose somebody in such a needless, avoidable manner, such as an alcohol-related car crash, is angering. It's a crash that did not have to happen. He made the choice to drink. Bad choice. He made the choice to get in a vehicle with an intoxicated driver. That driver made the choice to drink. That driver made the choice to drive intoxicated. That driver made the choice to speak.
In his speeches to Barrington High School students, Converse demonstrates that he is a cynic actor. This is due to the fact that he attempts to sway the Barrington community that he has coped with his son's death, as he feels as if he is protecting the town by delivering a message, not grieving his son. This is not true, as the anger that is directed towards students shows that he is quite envious of the high school students that are still alive. Next, we will analyze Dan Converse's front. This will include the setting, as well as his appearance and mannerisms, which can all be seen in an interview he did with a local television station.
I think that happens in Barrington. I think it happens in every community in this state. I think it happens in every community nationwide. There are parents that do feel that they are immune to this. There are parents that may look the other way as it's some sort of rite of passage for their kids, and it's not.
This interview shows that Converse's setting takes place in the speaking in front of the Barrington community, in which he hopes to give the message of the dangers of driving drunk to both parents as well as students. This idea is set consistently, thus the audience knows what to expect when they hear Converse speak. As one can see, Converse is a middle-aged white male who uses his status to tell a story and acts with aggression because he believes it to be the best way to get the message across to not only these parents but the students. Thus, one would believe that he would not hold as much of a grudge with students if he had actually coped with the death of his son, but the aggression is so that no parent has to go through what Converse did. This is something he emphasizes a lot in his talks. With this, the person Converse is showing to the world is an individual who's hurt, but through aggressive behavior, he hopes that he can be strong for his child. In this aggression, the audience is finally able to see the true Converse as a hurt parent, even if he has attempted to delude us, the audience, the whole time.
School. Convey that message. I reach out 2 days later at St. Luke's at a youth group, and what is it taking?
Converse, through his talks, provides a collective representation of a parent who has buried their child, as well as someone who has been affected by drunk driving, and the frustration when teens who do not listen, as was voiced by the past interview you saw with Lori Noon, who also lost a son. The death of John Converse is an accident that not only killed his son, but shaped Converse's own performance.
Magic bond.
People in our shoes, only us can understand.
Through his piece performances, Goffman did show just quite how one person can show their true self to an audience, even if they were putting up their barriers, and really does show how we as a society do function and show our true selves to each other. After watching this video, I do just want to make the connection to my town, and please remember to never drink and drive.